Muy buenas, gente. Aquí Samurai. Y hoy estamos con Alan Wake American Nightmare. Vamos a comenzar esta pequeña serie. Que, si recordáis, hace poco terminamos con la historia de Alan Wake y los DLCs. Ahora vamos a continuar con esta entrega, que es muy cortita, según me han dicho. Y que es un paso intermedio entre el juego primero, entre Alan Wake, y su segunda parte. Según se ha comentado, está basada en Night Springs, en esa serie que estuvimos viendo, ¿os acordáis? En Alan Wake, esos vídeos de Night Springs que veíamos. Y nada, poco más que decir, salvo que son los mismos creadores de Remedy Studios. Y este juego fue lanzado en 2012. Nada. Voy a revisar que estén los créditos. O sea, los créditos, perdón. Los gráficos. Voy a ponerlo todo al máximo. Espérate, me he dejado esto. Ahora. Nada. A empezar. Vamos a jugar normal. No vamos a cometer la locura de jugar en pesadilla, mucho menos empezando la serie. Así que vamos a jugar normal. Aquí tenemos a Barry.
Becomes hopelessly blurred, and nowhere as vividly as in Night Springs. The man before you is a champion of light. He is part of a conflict between darkness and light that is both ancient and eternal. He is chasing a dangerous quarry, the Herald of Darkness. His evil doppelganger, known only as Mr. Scratch.
I'll catch you eventually!
Maybe. But what are you gonna do then? By then, I'll have had my hands on everything you love.
The man has been brutally spat out from the darkness that surrounds the shores of our reality. He has come to fight a decisive battle in Night Springs.
Vale. Me pregunto, ¿no hay opción? Opción. Audio. ¿Se puede poner en español el audio? No se puede, seguramente. Es una pena porque el doblaje del primer juego me ha encantado. Y le daba mucho juego, ¿eh? Y los actores de doblaje españoles son muy buenos. Que no significa que no me guste jugarlo en inglés, sino que está muy bueno. Pues es una pena, pero... Además me había acostumbrado... El personaje de Barry me encanta. El actor de doblaje de Barry. Vale, parece que... ¿no? Hay una pequeña mejora gráfica con respecto al juego anterior. Han pasado 2 años, pero también imagino que este motor gráfico, si no es el mismo y lo han exprimido al máximo, es uno mejor. Aquí nos están enseñando un tutorial. Vale. Ha cambiado, si os fijáis, la interfaz gráfica, han cambiado la vida y la linterna. Y ahora la linterna se recarga mucho más rápido. Eso es importante, porque nos dejaba en la miseria. Aquí hay algo. Aquí, han cambiado el revólver por una 9 milímetros. Aquí tenemos al primer poseído de la tarde. Vale, ya no les afecta, si no les... Vale, sí. Han cambiado eso. Veía, si le apuntábamos con la linterna... Alrededor de 10 balas. Vale, sí. Parece que ahora si no les apuntamos con la linterna... O sea, hay que enfocarle. No basta solo con apuntarle, hay que enfocarle. Ese era un truco que aprendimos del primer juego.
In another life, the man was a writer. He still practices that art, forging weapons of war out of ideas. But the violent currents that brought him here have scattered the pages he has written.
No sé si estará el segundo, ¿sabéis si está traducido, o sea, doblado al castellano? Sería una pena que no lo estuviera, ¿eh? Por lo menos que den la opción de ponerlo. El primer manuscrito. Oh, pues hay varios manuscritos, ¿eh? 21 en concreto.
My name is Alan Wake, and I'm a writer. I didn't become one overnight. Like most writers, I struggled with it. A short story here, an article there. Then I got lucky and spent a year as a staff writer on the Night Springs TV show. It wasn't a great American novel of my fantasies, but it taught me discipline and craft, and the difference between wanting to be a writer and actually writing.
Vale. Primera página del manuscrito. Qué pena que esté todo el doblaje. Bueno.
The lights of the motel promise safety. The man senses that the solution to his predicament begins there.
Imagino que tomaron la decisión porque no vendería mucho el juego. Si no recuperaron la inversión, es lógico pensar que no les corría cuenta.
Somewhere within the earth, space itself has been pierced, and from dark depths runs a steady flow of
Siendo tan
monsters.
corto el
The
juego.
man recognizes the hand of his evil double in this. He knows he must put an end to this madness.
Parece que hay mucha más acción, ¿no? Hay ocasiones en las que es mejor huir. Vale, gracias por... ¿Se puede huir?
I can't stay here now.
Me parece que Alan es mucho más rápido. Porque en el anterior juego, madre mía, era imposible escapar de las tinieblas. Vale, el lugar seguro formado por una luz brillante te cura. Sí. Y es punto de control, vale, sí, esto lo sabemos. Este es el tutorial. Luego, luego empezará lo difícil. Desbloquea cajones de armas encontrando páginas del manuscrito ocultas y acaba con tus enemigos utilizando gran potencia de fuego. Vale, no podemos. Parece que va a haber que encontrar. ¿Qué será? ¿La pistola, el rifle? ¿El lanzabengalas? Dios, el lanzabengalas estaba rotísimo.
Hello.
¡Eh! ¿Qué hay aquí? Lo que podemos...
There. You remember me, right? Emma? Emma Sloan?
I think you might have something that belongs to me.
Really?
A typewritten page?
Oh, yeah, that's weird. I did find a page like that. I don't even know where it came from. It was all this weird stuff about the oil derrick and a satellite.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, I don't know how you knew I had it, but I guess it's yours. Listen, what's this all about? There are these really creepy guys hanging around the oil derricks. There's something really weird about them.
They're dangerous. I'm gonna deal with them. Try to stay out of their sight, okay? And stay in the light. They hate the light.
Vale. Me ha dado una página.
At the oil derrick, the wheel had been jammed in place and turned until the oil gurgled and flowed thick and flammable. The warning lights were blinking in a fast rhythm, bright and steady, powered by the battery. The Kasabian CD was playing in the boombox, all distorted guitars and intense beat. High above, some piece of orbital junk or another collided with the satellite, knocking it radically off course. Trailing debris, it screamed down from the skies at an impossibly steep angle. All that high-tech engineering reduced to nothing more than a bullet that would destroy whatever it hit.
Vale. Emma. Y tiene un Cadillac rojo. Mola.
The Champion of Light recognizes the page he got from the woman. It is a weapon of his own design, custom engineered to destroy the dark portal. If he recreates the conditions of the page, a great power will be unleashed.
Vale, tenemos un máximo de 50 balas. Cosa que se agradece. Pero han reducido a 10 pilas.
Well, here you are, about to enjoy another cool Arizona night with me, Eddie Rodman, the host with the books. Hey, any of you guys remember Old Gods of Asgard? Man, I actually saw them twice back in the 70s. I was just a kid then, but my dad worked at this club, and he'd sneak me in to see bands all the time. Talk about an education. Anyway, great band, a couple of great albums, solid fan base, and then they kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Well, now, almost 4 decades later, they're making a comeback. Let me tell you, these boys have seen a lot of road. There's some serious rock and roll about it. Because they weren't too young even back in the day. Well, now I've got Odin and Tor Anderson, 2 of the original Old Gods, in the studio with me, along with their manager, Barry Wheeler.
¿Cómo?
Nice to have you guys here.
Oh, hey, great to be here, Eddie.
Yeah, hey. Hello! Now, boys, let me just come out and say this, all right? Spring chickens, you ain't.
Barry Wheeler es ahora en este universo el de este de esta gente.
Who you calling old? 1978 in the Valley of My Shadow. And then you stopped playing altogether after that. Why? And what made you do a comeback after all this time?
Well, it was a sad thing. See, the original bass player for Old Gods, Fat Bob Balder, passed away in...
Leukemia! Bob had leukemia, poor Yeah, after that, we didn't feel like playing no more.
Long story short, I ran into these guys up in Washington, and it was obvious to me that they still got
Lo interesante.
I figured, hey, let's make some music, right? And they went for it.
Bueno, vamos a continuar. Ah, se rellena. Se rellena. Importante. Vale, aquí tenemos unas bengalas. Importante. Sigo usando con RB. Tenemos una tele, no me gustan, ya lo sabéis. No me trae buenos recuerdos del DLC.
Oh, hell. This isn't gonna be good.
Is this on? How can you tell? I'm sorry, I'm not very good with gadgets.
Es el señor Sirrido, ¿no?
That's more like it. I'll be right with you. I just gotta do this one thing. I like it quiet. I bet you're wondering why this is happening. Why am I doing all this? Why am I so hell-bent on ruining your life? You're cramping my style. You've got money, fame, everything you could want. But you don't know what to do with it. I do. I'm getting all the things you never had the balls to go for. Having more fun, too. Do you know the real difference between us? I'm not afraid to be the center of attention. This poor slob's just collateral damage, really. I mean, made some information out of him earlier. But this part? This is just for kicks. So quiet.
Bueno, vamos a continuar. El minimapa de la esquina superior indica tus objetivos actuales. También se muestran las ubicaciones de las cajas de municiones y de los lugares seguros, como iconos. Signo de interrogación que parpadea indica las cercanías que hay oculto una página de... ¿Y parpadea? A ver, un signo de interrogación que parpadea. Allí hay uno. Y con este tendríamos 3.
To change reality, you nudge it into the right direction. Your version of it is there, waiting. It wants to come true. All you need to do is help it achieve its potential. The devil is in the details. You change the details of the scene to match those on the page. If you get the details right, if you achieve that critical mass, the shift will come, and the rest of your new reality overrides the existing paradigm. The lie, no matter how outrageous, is now the truth.
Vamos a ir aquí. Espérate, ¿y esto? Ah, un punto de control. Punto de control. Vale, vamos a hacer una cosa. Vamos a ir a... Vamos a conseguir el arma que había aquí. Ya tenemos los 3 manuscritos. Aquí estamos. Vamos. Vale.
I guess it's about time I went full auto.
Subfusil. No sé qué será mejor, la verdad. Voy a probar el subfusil, a ver qué tal. Si no me gusta cómo va, lo cambiamos. Si se puede todavía. ¿Qué hay por aquí? Munición de escopeta y subfusil. Oh, genial. Y el lanzabengalas. Vale, tenemos toda la munición. Vale, 136. A ver, el subfusil en teoría debería ser mejor, ¿no? Mira, el tema de las ráfagas es lo que no me termina de convencer. Aquí tenemos el...
Wait. Wait. Whoa!
That's one thing down.
Me han dejado sin vida y ahora no se recarga, por lo tanto... Tenemos que ir... ¿Listo? Vale, desbloquear Magnum. Se necesitan 10 páginas, ostras. Ya la hemos encontrado, está aquí debajo. Debajo del coche amarillo. Aquí hay más bengalas. Los 4 ya. Vale. El objeto. Batería.
That's two. Just one more to go.
Segundo objeto. Aquí hay una página. ¿Vale? ¿Eh?
Some of the Taken aren't protected by the darkness like their comrades. Instead, their aversion to light is so extreme that they literally split into two when they encounter strong light. It leaves the two halves weaker, but of course, there's strength in numbers. It's a disturbing development. The dark presence I faced 2 years ago was powerful, but it didn't have much in the way of imagination. Clearly, the same cannot be said of Mr.
Mr. Chirridos. Y algo que brilla. La página, el manuscrito.
I know that when I arrive, the clarity of vision I have now may disappear. I've made my plans. I prepared for this, but I know the transition from the dark place will be hard on me, and not just physically. It may affect my mind, my memory. These pages should help me remember and focus. That's worked for me before. Even if that fails, I think I will be able to trust my instincts. I'm navigating my own story. I'm hoping I'll know where to go and what to do, even if the details elude me.
Vale. Sigue aquí. El 9 milímetros sigue aquí. Vamos a ir a por el objeto que nos falta. Allí hay otra página. Vamos a ir a por ella. Dios.
The enemy tears itself in two to avoid the hated light. It becomes weaker, but more numerous. Such is the arithmetic of horror.
Nuevos enemigos.
That was just messed up.
Nuevos enemigos.
The reality we take for granted is softer, more adaptable than we think. Under correct conditions, you can reshape it, turn it into almost anything you want. When it happens, almost nobody notices. It's not that we forget, it's that after the change, there's nothing to remember. Only those who have been directly touched by the powers that can shift reality are aware of the changes. Many are driven mad by it. Others can cope. I'm one of those people. And I know how to wield that power to rewrite reality.
Ok. Aquí hay otra página, parece. Oh, mira la escopeta.
That's everything.
The man has found the
Something tells me
battery,
I'm really
but
gonna
it
need
is
the extra
empty.
firepower.
It will need to be recharged.
Vale.
I need this battery charged.
No problem. Here you go.
Thanks.
Ve al campo petrolífero. Cambiar su fusil por pistola de clavos. Vale, ¿podemos hablar con ella?
Listen, I don't know what's gonna happen exactly when I do this. My memory's a little hazy.
I don't even know what that means.
All I'm saying is you don't want to come anywhere near the oil field, all right? This thing could get out of hand.
In the middle of highly flammable materials. Great.
I'll do my best to contain it.
Just please don't turn out to be some kind of crazy terrorist guy, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna go now. Wish me luck.
Wait a sec, I want to ask you about something first. What did you mean with that my memory's a little hazy thing?
I had a pretty rough time coming here. It was like being caught in a tsunami. I blacked out for a while. It's hard to explain. There's a barrier of sorts that I had to break through. I was lucky to make it here with my wits as intact as they are.
So you might have brain damage, you're about to do great things with a magic piece of paper, and you came here from another dimension?
No, I'm from New York. I was just visiting another dimension.
Oh, yeah, okay. My bad.
Una página por aquí. Aquí.
Mr. is a twisted copy of me, powerful and dangerous. But I know I can fight him. I don't think anybody else can. They don't understand what he is, what he represents, or that all the horrible things he does here are almost insignificant compared to what he will unleash on Earth given the chance. But I've survived the dark place, and it has taught me things. How to cope, how to stay sane when the world goes crazy. He's 2 steps ahead of me, but I can find him. And I believe
Puedes esquivar ataques utilizando.
time to make some serious changes.
A ver.
Another man might be shocked to find himself near Night Springs and indeed to find the town in Arizona as opposed to any other place it might be in. But for the champion of light, the obvious taint of corruption he senses here is of far greater interest.
Aquí tenemos una página.
The strands of webbing glistened in the beam of my flashlight, fine, almost ethereal. They were fresh and right in my path. I held my breath and waited, ears straining. Nothing. I moved on, concentrating on the task at hand. Just get what I was looking for, then leave. That's all I keep telling myself. For a moment, I actually thought it might be as simple as that. Then, I heard too many legs skittering across the ground.
¿Qué? Transfer. Vale. Vale, solo puedo llevar 5. Solo puedo llevar hasta 5 bengalas. No podemos ir. Vale, todavía no podemos. Imagino que después podremos entrar. Habrá que volver con Emma.
I'm here! Just keep your head down! Yeah, I think I noticed! That's the last of them, we're good!
Me he quitado vida. La mitad de la vida para seguir.
What the hell was that?
Easy. I got him. You're safe. I need you to tell me what you know about him. The guy who looks like me.
There was a party in one of the rooms. It was pretty wild. I'm not sure which room it was in.
You didn't attend.
No, I wasn't there. But it got way out of hand. Anyway, I heard that he went to the diner and there was a fight there or something. Maybe you could find out more from there. I got some keys that you could maybe use.
You just happen to have the keys, huh? Fine. I'll take a look. Stay here.
Like hell. I'm getting out of here as soon as you leave so I could close up this place and go home.
Emma, you really want to stay here in the light.
Yeah, thanks for the advice, but I'm not sticking around. Just go already, okay?
Are you okay?
I guess. Thanks for the help. Were those what'd you call them? The Taken? What are they?
It's complicated. Short version, the darkness can take people over. That's why I had to destroy the oil derrick. Otherwise, they would have overrun the place.
Wow, I didn't think you'd actually do it. I mean, I didn't think it'd work. That's crazy.
Let me just try one more time at the risk of sounding like a broken record. It's bad out there. I don't want you hurt. You should stay put.
Yeah, while you turn this place into an inferno, run around shooting things up, and play some kind of weird games with your psycho evil twin. Don't get me wrong, you're nice for a weirdo. I'm impressed as hell by all of this, but enough is enough. I seriously just want to get out of here, okay?
Ok. Alto y claro. Vale, explora. Ahora sí tenemos que ir a la cafetería. Es precisamente donde he estado. Debería pasar por allí.
A poltergeist. Its existence is one of rage and hostility, and its very presence turns ordinary objects into deadly projectiles.
Oh, shit!
Te las comí. Pero con patatas, macho. Madre mía.
The scene. Traces of violence. A callous midnight snack. A room key left carelessly behind. The man recognizes the enemy's handiwork.
I think these are keys for the motel rooms.
Dead Lakes. Midnight Race.
Satellite and now this? That place might be involved.
That place? Mount Redtooth Observatory. No será el sitio de Harman, ¿no? No puedo conducir.
Emma Sloan was a believer in a great many things, most of which were entirely fallacious. Emma Sloan, an innocent victim of his dark half. More collateral damage in the ongoing war. Damned by forces beyond her control, as much as by her own actions.
Me gustan mucho más los controles. Se ve que han trabajado mejor, ¿no? Y el juego está mucho mejor acabado.
Damn.
Michael Farabee, dead, tortured, dressed in clothes that bore the name of a local observatory. A slim lead, but solid enough. It stirs something deep in his mind. He knows where to go now. The observatory, hot on the heels of the Herald of Darkness, the champion of light forges on to see the stars. An observatory, a place for a man to witness the magnificence of the universe. But such insights are not what the champion of light is looking for. He has come to find a weapon.
Página. ¿Dónde está? ¿Verla? Ah, aquí hay 16 páginas.
As a storyteller, my first real love was crime. And it was in that genre that I finished my first novel, starring the perpetually miserable Alex Casey, whose entire life was a wound that never healed. The books sold as fast as they hit the shelves. I wrote 5 more Alex Casey books, and they all were bestsellers. I became rich. I became famous. Success brought pressure, and I didn't handle it very well.
Welcome back, listeners. As you know, I'm Eddie Rodman, and I'm still talking to the old gods of Asgard, who are doing their big comeback tour. How's that been going for you?
I'm having the time of my life. You know, I did. How much I missed that.
And what about you, Thor?
It's okay, you know.
That'll bring back a lot of memories.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful to be back on stage. If it wasn't for my knee, I'd feel like a young man again.
Well, speaking of that, I hate to keep harping on this age thing, but I gotta tell you, I've heard your new song, guys, and you sound really good. This may be a touchy subject, but to be blunt,
Munición de lanzabegal. Ahora tengo ya 2. Mola. Vale, la escopeta está mejor. La escopeta está mejor. Y una página.
I've carried a flashlight and a gun for so long that I feel naked without either. It's all too often that I need them. The darkness protects the taken. Shadows crawl over their forms like living things, protecting them from harm. Blows that would injure or kill a human outright mean nothing to them as long as the darkness persists. But light makes them vulnerable. Light burns the shadows away. The darkness that drives them is still in them, but now they're vulnerable. Flashlight and gun. Sometimes it feels they're all I have left.
Vale. Una página por aquí. Agradece que te las marquen, ¿eh?
The pressure of success got to me. My wife Alice was the sole thing in my life that anchored me. Suddenly it wasn't enough. I couldn't write anymore. I distracted myself with wild parties and whatever trouble I could scare up. I wallowed in the drama of my life, sure that Alice would stick with me even though she didn't sign up to be the lifeline of a tortured artist. It was my dumb...
Ok. Almost there. Ya casi estamos.
Hello? I'm Dr. Rachel Meadows and... Wait a moment, it's you! I can't believe you dare show your face around here again.
Otra vez. He estado antes aquí.
Go away.
It wasn't me. I just look like him.
Are you serious? That's what you're going with? Please.
I'm trying to stop him. You saw those shadow things trying to kill me, right? I bet he got along with them just fine.
Yes. Yes, he did. All right. Come on in.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. I figured I'd take a moment to talk to you. There's a party next door. I'm feeling pretty good right now. A little beer, a little fun, you know? It's nice. Listen, this whole thing between us, it's a little weird for me too, you know? I mean, we don't just look the same, there's a lot we share. I mean, up here. I know you, right? So I was thinking maybe we could... These guys are getting out of control. Look, I feel like we're both victims of circumstance here. And maybe we could make some kind of effort to...
Granadas de iluminación.
Just I didn't expect to see anyone here tonight, but I'm relieved to see an actual person. That's assuming this isn't some kind of cruel trick on your part.
Doctora Meadows.
Doctor, the man who looked like me, what did he want here?
There's a strange astronomical event happening right now. Something I can't begin to classify, but I think it's disabled our satellite. There's a very peculiar signal that we're receiving.
A signal? That's what I'm here for.
Well, so was he. But he didn't seem to understand it at all. He got very angry, sabotaged our imaging array, and now we're blind. I believe the event is still going on, but we can't pick it up.
Is there something we can do?
What he broke is essentially just a special camera, but we can't use the telescope without it. There's a replacement in my car. If you can get that to me, we're back in business.
Consider it done. Tell me more about the signal.
It's almost as if something's being transmitted to Night Springs. It's the strangest thing. It's quite elusive, almost as if it wasn't properly there. I don't know how to describe it.
So, what was the signal like?
I wish I knew. He appeared before I had a good fix on it. He was very pleasant when I was working, but when I isolated the signal, he suddenly forced me out of the control booth. He said it was none of my business. He seemed to change. Somehow he was very smooth and charming before that, but suddenly he became, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I want to talk about it.
I have to ask, do you always wear that to work?
I was at a party for a local art exhibition. Fascinating works, when I was called away by my assistant. Michael was the first to spot this event. I don't know where he is now, actually. He was supposed to bring us some food, but he never showed up.
Tell me about the event.
Oh, it's quite fascinating. It looks as if stars were changing, somehow. Or shifting positions. It isn't really happening, of course. Most likely it's caused by some kind of atmospheric refraction phenomenon, but I've never seen anything like it.
Did he hurt you?
No, he didn't quite threaten me exactly, but those shadowy things started to crawl into view, and whatever the signal was, he seemed to be extremely frustrated by it. He just started breaking things and left. I thought it best not to interfere.
You were lucky. He's done much worse.
Yes. He showed me a knife, and he kept talking. He enjoyed the sound of his own voice. A proper maniac. You really aren't anything like him, are you?
Believe me, I try very hard not to be.
Hay que conseguir el equipo de formación de imágenes. Imagino estar cerca.
Good luck, and try to be careful. It's only a spare part, and we don't have a replacement. Oh dear, that sounded more callous than I intended. Be safe.
Y una página.
The spiders aren't really the work of the enemy. They're a side effect, a part of the Dark Place's less significant fauna that has managed to slip through the opening I made when I arrived. Less an animal than an idea that has assumed the form of an animal. Makes them no less dangerous, but at least they're a little easier to deal with. The darkness doesn't protect them like the Taken, and thus they can be destroyed by either light or bullets right away. This must be her car.
Hay arañas. Buena.
I found it!
Directly below the telescope so you can install the array. Don't worry, it's very easy. Brilliant, you've got it. I'll just run a quick diagnostic on it. Yes, it's in perfect order. All right, we're good to go. Let's take a look at the skies. Shut this down. There's a problem with the automated coolant system. Somebody just interrupted the flow.
So now what?
You could go and open the secondary coolant flow valves manually. I know it's dangerous there, but...
I got it!
Please talk to me if you have any questions.
Hay que bajar, ¿verdad?
Just remember, you need to release all three valves. It doesn't matter what order you do it.
Okay, that should do it.
Me ha dado. Y casi. Todo lío, abre.
I released all the valves, Doctor! Is it working?
Just bear with me a moment. Yes, I believe you got it sorted. It's working again. Nicely done. Look out, they found a way in. Hold on a little longer. I've almost got it isolated. Are you alright? I'm sighted in now. I still have things I'm looking at, but it's strange indeed. Oh, where are my manners? Please, come on up. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Are we receiving the signal now?
Oh yes, it's coming in loud and clear. It's amazing. I'm not sure what it is yet, let alone where it's coming from, but it's interacting with our system somehow, like it was intended for us. But I don't understand how that could be.
Maybe that's just how the story goes.
What?
Never mind. Is there a way I can hear it? Or however this is supposed to work?
I think the signal is incomplete somehow, but you should be getting a printout of it now.
What do you mean it's incomplete?
It's almost as if we're only getting a fragment of it.
I need the whole thing. This is important.
I'm sure it is, but this is all we're getting.
Did the man who looks like me get the whole thing?
He locked me out of the booth, so I have no way of knowing. But I can tell you that he didn't really seem to understand it.
So, what's in the sky?
It doesn't make any sense. The stars are just... they're wrong. I thought I'd be able to see something, but it's like I'm looking at a sky that's just... it's not the right sky. But that's impossible.
I consider myself a rational man, Doctor. But this isn't a thing you can measure or explain. I've seen impossible things that have taught me just to roll with some punches. It's either that, or go insane.
I find it disturbing that you sound like you're speaking from ample experience.
Coge la copia de la impresa.
a printout of a signal. It too is a weapon created by the Champion of Light. In its words, stirs a new reality. But it is incomplete, and yet it provides a roadmap for the man to follow, a course that will lead him to a place where he may confront his enemy. The drive-in. Once the site of lurid celluloid fantasies, it's now the site of an art exhibition. And yet, it's the search for closure rather than culture that brings the Champion of Light here.
Una página.
The Taken were always single-minded. They had a certain animal cunning, but they weren't very intelligent. That's one reason why they prefer melee weapons. Actual firearms are too complex for them to use. That's why seeing the one who threw grenades at me surprised me. But of course, they aren't actually grenades. There's no pin to pull, no fuse to set off an explosive, just concentrated darkness.
¿Qué? 16 páginas aquí también. Investiga el autocine.
Oh, it's you. That's fantastic.
Are you okay?
Go away. No, I want you. But you'll get angry if you're here. So you gotta go. You know I'll do what you want.
Okay.
I love you so much. Did you know that love hurts? Are you gonna hurt me now? 'Cause you should.
Lady, you got darkness on the brain. I think I can help you if I can get the lights on in here.
You can't turn the power back on. It's not allowed. You said.
So, where shouldn't I go so I don't turn the power back on accidentally?
It's the big building on the other side of the drive-in, but it's locked.
Where's the key? Just so that I know to avoid it.
It's on the wall next to the cash register. But you can't. You can't. Don't be bad.
Hey, no problem. I'm just gonna go do some other stuff. Scout's honor. Just try to stay calm. I've seen this kind of thing before. I think you're gonna be okay.
Why is it so hard to think?
You've been touched by darkness. I'm hoping it's not permanent.
Remember when you were here before and you kissed me? And then everything got all dark? That was the best.
Listen, this is very important. Where did I go? Can you tell me that?
Baby, you don't need to go anywhere. You're here now, and you're in my head. You should be in me. You should touch me again.
Not with a 10-foot pole, lady. Hey, just in case there's a part of you in there that's freaking out right now, it's not your fault. I promise I'll do what I can to help you, okay?
I don't... Please go away.
Don't sweat it. I'm just saying that in case you really need to hear it, I've been there.
I think there are spiders in my eyes. I think you put them in me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go now.
And we're back with Old Gods of Asgard and their manager, Barry Wheeler. Guys, you're on your comeback tour, and you're playing a lot of your classic material. But you've also got a new single out, right? How'd that come about? Was it hard to go back into the studio after such a long time?
Are you kidding me? They were chomping at the bit. They were just itching to stretch those creative muscles. Now, it had been a while because, they spent a lot of time in,
Retirement. We were retired.
We were?
Yeah.
No. We were at the lodge, and we escaped.
We were at the retirement.
You're foolish.
The man has encountered this before. People whose integrity has been suborned by the insidious touch of the darkness. He has experienced it himself, but merciful light burned away the darkness in his brain.
I didn't know you were a producer.
Well, this was my first time. I mean, they needed a little bit of guidance, you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong, these guys are the best. But it's the 21st century, man. Things are all different these days. So, I kind of stepped in there, helped to make it sound all cool, kind of jazzed it up.
That sounds like a challenge.
Oh, no, it's really easy, man. I was just, hey, take it to another level.
Stuff like that.
Just throw some really sweet.
My writer's block got worse. I didn't sleep much anymore. My life with Alice seemed like a constant fight. I was a wreck. Alice took steps. She booked a vacation in Bright Falls, a small town in Washington. It was supposed to be a chance to break out of the cycle I was in. She didn't know about the darkness in Cauldron Lake. Not good.
Y se ve el Night Falls. Pero hemos venido ahora al autocine. Y hay que cumplir con lo que se espera de nosotros.
Oh, look! Mr. Hero's here! You ready to save the day?
Ya empezamos a dar tiradas contra la gente. No. Allí, ¿cómo bajo, tío? Bajo.
You are gonna shit yourself when you realize what I have done. Shut up!
Todavía no tengo 20 páginas.
It's been 2 years since I came here. Being that long without Alice breaks my heart. And I know it broke hers. I know she thinks I'm dead. How could I blame her for that? It would be a crime to pretend that she owes me anything. She took all the stupid, self-indulgent bullshit I brought into her life and still stood by me. Still loved me. It's no betrayal. But I'm a better person now than I used to be. I want to be that person with her. The car seemed to sail through the crisp mountain air in slow motion, spinning around one axis almost lazily. The moment was hypnotic. Then it struck the pipeline in a shower of sparks, the impact turning the windshield into a burst of safety glass. As it hit the ground, I snapped out of my reverie. The car was rolling downhill, slowing down as every bump killed momentum, but still coming. The fence wouldn't be enough to stop it.
Y una página.
Alice, my wife. The best thing that ever happened to me. She smiles and the darkness lifts. For her, I've tried things I otherwise never would. I've never really minded if it's made me feel like a fool. She's a photographer, and the world she sees through her lenses is unique and beautiful. She has the vision. She sees things others don't and knows how to make them visible to everybody. She did it with me, too. She teased out things I was only vaguely aware of. She'll...
Okay, I should be able to figure this out.
You have no idea how badly you're screwed. It's gonna be a blast to watch you find out. Don't want to get hit by those.
Espérate, ¿estoy yendo bien?
Wait!
It's so nice in the dark. I can smell you. I can smell you out there. No, don't. Oh, it's not. It's you. Did you help me?
Looks like you're feeling better now.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened. There was this guy.
Before you say anything, I know I look like him, but I'm not.
Don't worry. You just don't feel anything like he does. He was in my head. I feel like I need to take 50 showers.
Where is he?
That asshole wanted to get into the projector booth. He was talking about fixing things so the sun never comes up. God, it didn't seem that weird when he was saying it. It sounded really good at the time.
You weren't yourself. The projector booth. That sounds about right. I need to get in there.
I have the access code for the door. Here.
Thanks.
I'm just glad you showed up now. He said he'd be back after he'd arranged for some security.
Do you feel up to telling me what's going on here?
We have an art exhibition here, supposed to open tomorrow. I'm the curator. My name's Serena Valdivia.
Alan Wake.
Holy shit, it is you. I've seen you on the big screen. I know your wife.
You know Alice? Wait. Big screen.
Yeah, we have a film from her here. What the hell happened to you?
Getting back to Alice.
Oh, God, yeah, sorry. It's quite a coincidence that you're here. She made this short film. She shot it years ago. You're in it. It's a part of the exhibition.
I'm in a film?
Yeah, it's like... it's just footage she shot of you at some point, but she turned it into this thing. It's, almost like a memorial of sorts, because, you're supposed to be dead. Or something.
Uh-huh. How's Alice? Is she all right?
She's okay, I guess, all things considered. I know her pretty well. You're really Alan? I can't believe you're here. Nobody knows what happened to you. But there are people who say they've seen you.
That wasn't me. He just looks the same. Like,
Yeah, but that guy's a lot more slimy. The thought of him makes me... I hate him, but there's something about him, God, he's so creepy. Anyway, you're not like him. At all. I hope you can stop him.
Thank you. Entra en el edificio del proyector. Parece que las cosas
That's the
se ponen
security
de
system?
nuevo.
I guess it was too much to hope for an alarm and a fat.
No me gusta nada. Es la torre de la especie.
The Champion of Light can feel the fragment of the signal in his pocket, the weapon that can change what will be. It's incomplete, but it's all he has.
Era una hora tardía de la noche, el verano casi había llegado a su fin.
Oh, hell, this isn't going right.
You've been up to something, haven't you? Too bad it's not gonna do any good. I'm a better you than you ever will be, and I've got all the time in the world. Everything you got.
got's going to be mine. Your life. Your wife! What are you gonna do about it? The sun's never coming up now. I can keep this up forever. Show yourself! Whatever you say, buddy!
The rush of darkness is unstoppable. Time itself twists and tears, sweeping the champion of light back with its dark currents. Again, he enters the world, but now he sees the trap for what it is, a maze that loops back into itself.
I'm here again. He sent me back.
Ok. De 53 en total.
In Bright Falls, I was constantly under attack by birds that were more shadow than flesh and feathers. But this is an evolution. Some of the Taken were actually capable of turning into a flock of birds to escape my attacks and turning back into human form to make surprise attacks.
Dale el cañón. Habla con Emma y pájaros otra vez.
What the hell?
Ya tenemos 20.
I'm trapped in the darkness. He has started appearing to me. Mr. He can travel back into the world effortlessly, and he loves to rub my face in it. At first, he was just an echo in the darkness, a flicker beyond the edge of my vision. Now he started showing himself, getting bolder all the time, telling me what a great time he's having in the world while I'm stuck here, and what he plans to do, especially to Alice. All the moves I have left are dangerous. With all the herbs, crystals, and the rest of her New Age paraphernalia, Emma Sloan had been called a hippie and a freak and worse. It was that small-town mentality. She was a female mechanic, and even in 2011, there were always going to be backward shit-kickers who thought that was a hoot. She didn't mind. She could deal. She could take any engine apart, even the new ones with all the computers in them. Turned out that these boys were awful polite while waiting for her to put them back.
Vale, hemos desbloqueado la Magnum.
Okay. So this chick just came up to me and said she's my biggest fan. I know. They all say that, right? And she's giving me the eye. So I make a couple of moves. We have a couple of drinks. And then things start happening. But I say I have to go to the bathroom first. Uh-oh, right? She's got no idea. Watch this. This is gonna be priceless.
That's nice.
I thought you'd like that. Are you tense? You feel a little tense.
Maybe a little. I had a crappy day.
Yeah?
Don't worry, it's improving real fast.
Yeah.
Hey, don't stop. It's just getting good.
Watch this.
Emma? You here?
Okay, people, it's Eddie Rodman here with a few
Wow, it is you. I guess all of it really happened.
You remember me?
Kind of. I felt weird all day, like I could almost remember a dream I had, and then, just before sunset, I remembered the page.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go get those things again.
Not all of them. I went out and got them. Well, most of them. I felt stupid at first, but then it was getting dark, and those things started showing up, and one of them made off with the battery. It ran into the railroad tunnel. There was no way I was gonna follow him in there. Sorry.
It's good you didn't. You should be careful. I mean, really careful.
Yeah, I kinda remember something. Something bad happened to me, didn't it?
Forget it. It doesn't have to happen again, okay? Just do what I say.
Yeah, okay. God, this is too weird. Am I going crazy here? Just go get that battery.
Try to stay calm. You're perfectly sane. We're caught in a time loop. That's why this is happening again.
I believe you. God, I feel like I might just lose it any second now. How come you're not freaking out over this?
Because on my personal weird shit-o-meter, this just doesn't rate.
Look, I know something happened to me before...
You're gonna be okay, if you just keep cool, okay? Thanks for getting this stuff for me. It's a big help.
I hope so. Are you gonna make everything blow up at the oil field again?
I have to.
Well, whatever the hell else you might be, at least you're not boring.
Just the battery. That'll save time. Now Night Springs is in Arizona, although not for long. It's in Arizona because whatever the town that has become Night Springs is really called is located near one of the thin, worn places in the world where dreams and reality flow together and life is always a little strange. Perfect analogy for Night Springs. I can't return to the real world. I've tried, but I'm operating on dream logic, forcing the door open a crack. Well, this should be perfectly safe. Now I just need her to charge this up.
Más arañas. Como si ya no...
I found the battery.
Okay, I'll charge it. Here. Try not to get killed.
Okay. I'm gonna take care of this. Try to stay calm.
Look, what if you stay here with me, please?
I'm sorry, but if I don't deal with this, no one else will.
Yeah, I guess. It's just that this is getting really creepy. I believe this is real, but I don't understand any of it. I'm getting scared. I can't believe you're so calm.
I get scared, but I've had a lot of time to get used to it. That helps. The guy who looks like me is the reason this is happening. I caught up with him, but he swept me back here.
Back in time.
Yeah, it's a trap. We'll be doing this forever unless I can break out of it.
How are you gonna do that?
I'm working on it. I came prepared, but things got kind of scrambled when I arrived. I'm tracking down the things I need.
Yeah, well, feel free to climb back into your DeLorean or whatever it is you do.
Ok. DeLorean. Todavía no podemos entrar. Tenemos que ir. Tanto de petróleo, pero antes. Bueno, aquí hay una página. Aquí.
I don't make friends easily. I know plenty of people, but I don't let most of them close. I've known Barry Wheeler ever since we were little boys. We had the time of our lives. I'd get us in trouble, and he'd talk us out of it. Things haven't changed that much now that we're grown-ups. He's the most loyal and dependable person I've ever met, and all the things that count anyway. You could call him a weasel, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. You could call him a clown, and I would reluctantly agree. But he had...
Well, here we go again. Better get ready to run.
be in trouble. Better hurry.
Vuelve con Emma. Ah, vuelve con Emma.
Emma! I'm coming!
Again? I knew something bad.
This is not the bad thing! Nothing!
How many more of these guys are there?
Just keep your head down! It's okay. It's safe now.
I got a really bad feeling about all of this.
I'm gonna need those keys to the diner now. There's a motel key there that I have to get.
Oh, hey, you don't have to do that. I have the motel master key. I work for the same company, you know. What's at the motel?
Well, there's a dead guy. He's got something I need to get into the Mount Redtooth Observatory.
God, that's awful. Hey, you wanted to know about the guy who looked like you, didn't you?
The last time you said he had a party, but you didn't go.
No, that's not true. I did go. It was really great at first, and then I didn't see it myself, but I hear he turned nasty. He hurt a bunch of guys pretty bad, and there was this girl, she died. But I didn't hear about that until afterwards. I thought that he was so charming.
And then he went to the diner.
That's right. I wasn't involved. I wasn't involved with that at all. I don't know what happened.
Fine. I need to check out these motel rooms. In the meantime, you stay here, okay? I'm serious. Keep the lights on and stay here.
Yeah, okay. You got it. I sure hope you're right about this.
Esta vez quédate
You're
aquí.
gonna stay here this time, right?
Because the last time I didn't, and that thing, whatever it is, happened to me.
Yeah. I don't want you to get hurt again.
Don't worry, I'm gonna stay put. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I learned my lesson.
Good. It doesn't have to happen exactly the same way this time around. You proved that much when you went out and got those things for me. I think you're gonna be okay.
Let's hope you're right.
Okay. Let's go.
This wasn't supposed to happen again!
Her own fate haunts Emma Sloan and fills her with dread. This time, she does as she's told. It's not enough to save her.
¿Cómo que not enough? ¿Pero qué tengo que hacer para salvarla? ¿No? Edición de bengala.
My own face peered back at me from the TV screen. For a moment, I struggled with the sensation of déjà vu. How many times have I seen myself like this now? And then there was that easy grin that never seemed quite as quick or natural on my own lips, the dark, malicious twinkle in the eyes. And I knew who I was looking at. As he pulled back and revealed the room behind him, my throat went dry. There was nothing I could do but watch.
Nothing I can do but...
Alice and Barry, my wife and my best friend, are easily the two most important people in my life, and they've never really gotten along with each other. I suppose both of them resent the other's intrusions into what they considered their domain. After I was gone, they maintained an uneasy truce. My book stayed in print, still selling, the licensing machine churned away. She was my wife and controlled the intellectual property. He was my agent and took care of the business. I wish they found more common ground than that.
Ok.
It's said that nobody knows what the future might bring, but for this man, it's no longer entirely true. A weaker man might simply give up, but the champion of light is an expert on destiny. Sometimes the puppet and puppeteer can be one and the same.
Una persona a la vez. La misma persona puede ser el títere y el titiritero.
Mount Redtooth, its top littered with man-made eyes that stare into the endless depths of space. Tonight, the champion of light will depend on them to pick out a message from the ether. As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
Oh, praise be. You guys are coming through for me. A pretty little...
No te creo.
The atmosphere in the projection booth at the drive-in was charged, almost unreal. Despite that, the air felt cool and refreshing this late at night. It'd been a hot day. The summer was nearing its end, but it wasn't over yet. When Dr. Rachel Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her to hurry to the observatory, she didn't waste any time. It had been a nice party. She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up.
Necesitan 15 páginas. Me faltan páginas para desbloquearlo.
It's you! How dare you! No, wait. It isn't you. Is it? I suppose you'd better come in. I'll unlock the door.
Thanks.
I know what you're thinking. Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you to understand that. Like this. Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic. Speaking of classics, you need to be careful with this one, though. If the victim suddenly twists, you might end up cutting yourself. It's not really a workhorse, but I'm a sucker for this style. Now this is more like it. You've got slip-resistant grip. Believe me, you really want that traction once you're wrist deep in somebody. The blade's stiff enough so it won't open by accident in your pocket, but it's still really easy to open with just one hand. Now that's a big thing for me.
Vemos con la
You'll
doctora
have to
Lee.
forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
I have the replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed. I think we can give this a go, although I have this strange feeling that something will
Don't
go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right, let me think. If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure it, we should be ready to pick up the signal. That is why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time, I'd appreciate if you could come here and explain it. This is very strange to me.
Hello.
I don't quite know what's going on, but I seem to remember having had this encounter before.
It's not deja vu, Doctor. This has happened before. We're caught in a time loop.
That's utterly insane. How could that be?
I can't really explain it. I suppose I could call it magic.
I don't believe in magic.
Neither do I, but I can't argue with what I've experienced. Listen, what matters now is the signal. The last time we only caught a part of it. I need the rest of it. Whether you believe me or not, you want to look into this as much as I do, right?
Yes. All right.
I realize that you have trouble believing this.
That's an understatement. I can't deny that what you say resonates with me on some level I don't pretend to understand. But for all I know, I'm simply delusional.
But it's not just you. I've experienced the same thing as you. Doesn't that prove something, at least?
Maybe. On the other hand, given your appearance, and the fact that you're trying to convince me that I'm not insane, perhaps you're merely a hallucination that accompanies my delusions.
You're not having a psychotic episode, Doctor. For what it's worth, I'm a skeptic by nature. I completely understand your reluctance to believe me.
There are people caught so deep in their psychosis that they retroactively manufacture memories and beliefs that conform to the situation at hand.
Sure, but you have to stop second-guessing yourself at some point, if you want to get something done. I've seen the enemy, and it's me. I've faced dark horrors before, things that live in the unimaginable pressures of the world beyond our own. Sometimes they masquerade as humans. That's what ultimately lurks inside Mr. He's every mean-spirited tabloid story about me, an evil caricature, a creature formed in that vague territory of misconceptions, half-truths, and the dark imagination of people who heard a story about me. An urban legend made flesh. A serial killer. My dark half. Brought to life by the power of Cauldron Lake. The darkness rose from the depths of Cauldron Lake and took Alice. It needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage. A hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake. After my disappearance, they thought I was dead. I might as well have been. I know it's been 2 years. I know Alice has moved on. I've tried to find a way back to her, back to my life, but escaping the dark place is almost impossible. Time does strange things here, but dreams and radio signals can pierce the veil between the worlds. I catch glimpses and echoes of the world. Sometimes I send messages out. I can only pray that they hear them.
Vale, gente. Vamos a dejarlo por aquí de momento. Y continuaremos desde este punto hasta el final. Veremos para el siguiente capítulo. Muchas gracias por acompañarme. Yo soy Samurai y esto es Alan Wake American Nightmare. Hasta el próximo capítulo.